Todd Chrisley, Julie Chrisley, and Savannah Chrisley talk their return to reality TV. Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another video. I hope everyone's having a great day. Before watching the video, please subscribe and like it. The Chrisley family is speaking out ahead of their return to reality TV. Nightline co-anchor Juju Chang sat down with Todd Chrisley, Julie Chrisley, and their daughter Savannah Chrisley before their new series, The Chrisleys. Back to Reality premieres on September 1. Savannah Chrisley describes the new reality show as a departure from the family's previous show, Chrisley Knows Best, which ran for 10 seasons between 2014 and 2023. We've said for 10 years that Chrisley Knows Best was a scripted comedy, Savannah Chrisley told Chang in an interview airing Tuesday, September 2, on Nightline. But this show, we peel back the layers. We break it down. You're gonna see the dysfunction. You're going to see the fight, and the tears and everything we had to go through to get to today. In 2022, Todd and Julie Chrisley were convicted of bank fraud, wire fraud, and tax evasion, and an appeals court upheld their convictions. Todd Chrisley was sentenced to 12 years in prison and 16 months of probation. Julie Chrisley, meanwhile, was sentenced to 7 years in prison and 16 months of probation. The husband and wife were sent to federal prison and served just over 2 years before President Donald Trump pardoned the couple in May. The Chrisleys have maintained their innocence, and after Todd Chrisley was released from prison in May, he said, "I was convicted of something I did not do." Julie Chrisley and Todd Chrisley told ABC News that since their prison release, their interactions with fans have been mixed. "The ones that I interact with that come up to me, they are lovely," Julie Chrisley said. "The majority of the negative comments are not even really about us. It's about who signed our pardon," Todd Chrisley added. For those who disagree with Trump's pardon of him, Todd Chrisley said the new reality series will back him up. "Those are the people that have not dug into the case," he told ABC News. "And you're going to see this come out in these 8 episodes. But at the end of the day, I don't live my life for those people that think I'm guilty. I know what I've done." Todd Chrisley, Julie Chrisley, and Savannah Chrisley are back in the spotlight after years of public scrutiny, legal battles, and personal upheaval. The once beloved stars of a popular reality television series are stepping back in front of the cameras, not to resume the carefully curated image of a Southern family living in luxury, but to reveal the raw, unfiltered truth of what happened after their world crumbled under the weight of federal charges and personal betrayals. This return is not a reboot, nor is it a resurrection of their original show. It is a completely new series, one built on transparency, accountability, and the hard-earned resilience of a family that has endured public shame and private heartache. After years of silence, the Chrisleys are telling their story in their own words, in their own time, and on their own terms. This new chapter of their television journey is more than entertainment. It is a public reckoning with fame, scandal, survival, and the ever-complicated notion of redemption. Todd Chrisley, once known for his sharp wit, meticulous appearance, and seemingly perfect family man persona, is stepping back into the public eye. With a drastically different image gone, is the man obsessed with control, perfection, and appearances. In his place stands someone who says he has been humbled, shaped, and scarred by time spent in confinement, by the collapse of trust, and by the painful distance from loved ones who once orbited closely around him. His time away has reportedly shifted his perspective profoundly, and he now expresses a desire to lead with honesty, vulnerability, and a commitment to personal transformation. Julie Chrisley, once portrayed as the patient, elegant matriarch, is also returning with her own voice after enduring years of quiet suffering. The quietness, however, was never weakness, but rather a strength refined through hardship and self-reflection. Her experience has deepened her belief in faith, family, and the power of rebuilding something new from broken pieces. She is no longer interested in playing a role. She is ready to live openly, authentically, and unapologetically. At the center of this return stands Savannah Chrisley, who during the darkest days emerged not only as the emotional glue of the family, but as its most vocal and determined advocate. she took over the responsibility of caring for her younger siblings, managing public perception, defending her parents through multiple media outlets, and ensuring the Chrisley name would not be reduced to tabloid fodder. Her journey, from reality to princess to fierce family protector, has been nothing short of extraordinary. She now steps into the spotlight as a woman who also addresses relationships with extended family, some of whom distanced themselves during the crisis, and others who deepened their commitment. The theme of loyalty echoes throughout the series, as the Chrisleys explore what it means to stand by someone not only in success, but in shame, betrayal, and uncertainty. The audience is not spared from the emotional rawness. There are scenes of confrontation, tears, silence, and even anger. This is not a family looking for pity. They are looking for understanding. They are not presenting themselves as flawless. They are offering their truth and allowing the world to judge if it must, but also to maybe listen with more compassion than before. In terms of future plans, the Chrisleys are reportedly considering other forms of media to continue sharing their journey, including a podcast, speaking engagements, and a potential book. They have no illusions about returning to the heights of their former fame, but they are committed to using their platform to encourage conversations about justice, resilience, and redemption. The release of this new series is being met with a mixture of anticipation, skepticism, and curiosity. The public's relationship with the Chrisleys has always been complex: admiration, often mixed with critique, fascination, laced with judgment. Now the audience must decide whether it is willing to view them not as caricatures of Southern charm and scandal, but as flawed individuals trying to rebuild their lives after very public failure. In many ways, the Chrisley family's return to reality television marks a new era of the genre itself, one that embraces imperfection, trauma, and recovery. Instead of just entertainment, spectacle, and surface-level conflict, it challenges the notion of what reality TV can be when its subjects are no longer interested in being adored, but instead in being understood. For Todd Chrisley and Savannah Chrisley, this show is not about clearing their names. It is about clearing space in their hearts and lives for something real, something healing, and something honest. Whether the public embraces them once again remains uncertain, but for now they are no longer hiding behind stage perfection. They are standing in the mess and telling the world, this is who we are now. The Chrisleys. Back to Reality premieres Monday, September 1 at 8 p.m. ET on Lifetime. Plus, watch more of Juju Chang's interview with the Chrisley family on Nightline on September 2. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, America Trends 24, and who refuses to let her story be written by anyone but herself. Their new series is not about reclaiming fame, but rather reclaiming narrative. It promises to take viewers behind the scenes of courtroom battles, prison visits, family rifts, and moments of unbearable loneliness. This is not the polished comedic reality of their former show, where tension was staged and drama was exaggerated for laughs. This is unscripted, unfiltered, and emotionally unvarnished. The family aims to confront the reality behind the headlines, showing what fame can cost when the cameras stop rolling and the doors close. The show reportedly delves deeply into the emotional fallout from the couple's conviction, the pain of separation, and the struggle to maintain family unity while living in separate states behind prison walls. Each episode is said to focus not on exoneration, but on emotional truth. The audience will be exposed to late-night phone calls, letters from behind bars, whispered prayers, and the endless wait for appeals and second chances. Savannah describes the show as therapy with cameras, a place where the family can confront the trauma of the past in a structured and reflective way. She emphasizes that the show is not a campaign to win sympathy, but rather an attempt to offer healing for themselves and perhaps for others who have felt betrayed by the justice system, abandoned by friends, or misunderstood by society. Beyond the emotional journey, the show also explores the changing dynamics within the family. Savannah's role as a parental figure during her parents' absence reveals both the emotional toll and the maturity it forced upon her. She navigated school drop-offs, homework, emotional breakdowns, and financial responsibilities, all while living under public scrutiny. Her strength and tenacity have become pillars in the family's survival story, but they have also created tensions, especially as her parents re-enter her life after years apart. Todd and Julie reportedly wrestle with feelings of guilt for leaving Savannah to shoulder responsibilities they never imagined she would have to face. They admit to struggling with how to express gratitude while dealing with the grief of missed milestones, lost time, and altered relationships. The show invites viewers into these moments of reconciliation, forgiveness, and sometimes unresolved pain. There are also broader themes being tackled, including the nature of public perception, how quickly a loved celebrity can become a target, how opinions shift with headlines, and how fragile public trust can be when controversy arises. The Chrisleys do not expect universal forgiveness, nor do they ask for blind support. They only ask that people be willing to see them beyond their mistakes and to understand that their story is still being written. The production of this new series comes with its own challenges, including navigating the legal complexities of speaking about ongoing appeals, being mindful of those who were affected by their case, and avoiding the sensationalism that often accompanies high-profile scandals. The family reportedly insisted on retaining editorial control to ensure that what is shown reflects their truth, rather than a network's version of it. In interviews leading up to the release of the new show, the family spoke openly about their motivations and their fears. They understand that public opinion remains divided. They understand that forgiveness may never come from some viewers, but they believe that silence was no longer an option. Too much had been said by others. Too many stories had been twisted. Too much of their humanity had been erased in the noise of public opinion. The show does not avoid the difficult questions. It addresses them head on. What was it like walking into a federal facility? What did they learn from the people they met behind bars? How did they keep their faith intact through nights filled with uncertainty? What does justice mean to them now, and how do they plan to move forward as a family that has already endured so much? There is a notable shift in tone from their earlier days of reality stardom. Gone are the jokes about wealth, shopping, and excess, replaced by reflections on purpose, gratitude, and the importance of family over fame. The materialistic backdrop of their earlier series has been replaced with the emotional landscape of survival and renewal. Savannah's voice is the most prominent throughout the series, and rightly so. Her journey has been central to the family's ability to endure. She speaks with a mixture of heartbreak and hope, clearly shaped by what she has seen and felt, but not defined by it. She refuses to be labeled simply as a victim or a hero. Instead, she chooses to be seen as someone who has lived through extraordinary circumstances and who is choosing to heal out loud.